Got it. Yay. Good morning, everybody from Southern California right now. I am at the Oxygen Bass here in Cali. And I'm going to switch my viewpoint so I can see better. There, we're at the Oxygen Bass here in Cali. I actually just came out to my car to do this training. And I want to talk to you today about not missing the chance, right? Not missing the chance to build your business. I think if I was to go right back to the beginning of when I started hardcore business, or when I started my real estate career, or even when I started my nightclub career. Some of you guys don't know I used to run nightclubs in Las Vegas. Yes, I did. I ran nightclubs in Las Vegas. True story. I got introduced, or I got an interview with a big company in Las Vegas, and I was climbing the corporate ladder in the hotel casino management world. And I knew that I wanted to do something in business, but I didn't necessarily know that, like, what that was. And so I went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and I took a degree. I started working on a degree, which I never finished, around business with hotel casino management. The reason why I didn't finish is because I started making a lot of money. And so I wanted to bring this conversation around don't miss your chance to build your business, because you're trying to get it right. You're trying to figure out, am I in the right lane? All my lanes have lined up. When I ran nightclubs in Vegas, when I did get that job, I was unqualified for that job. And the reason why I think this is an important conversation to bring up is there's people you're talking to. There's people you're talking to that are customers, clients. Maybe you're a doctor, you work with patients, or you're in network marketing and do reps, or whatever it is that you call them. My point, or teachers, you call your client students. So I'm going to call them all buyers for right now, if you don't mind. And so there's people that are talking to buyers right now, and they're getting no's or not yets. And what happens is that slows us down. This is one of the areas that we get slowed down in, because we want to get it right before we deploy, before we go all in. How many of you guys think you've ever gone all in? Like, for real? Like, you know that you have gone all in on your marketing, all in on your sales, all in. Like, if you bring it down to a specific moment, how many of you guys feel like you really have gone all in? Any of you guys? Yes, no, maybe so. Go in the chat and let me know so I can see. How many guys? What I normally find is most people have never experienced themselves all in. They've experienced themselves working hard, making some big risks, but at the end of the day, if a risk doesn't come to fruition into a manifestation of a result that you want, I can guarantee you didn't go all in. I don't believe that there is anything that you could want, anything that you want to create. All of those moments, to me, or the majority of them, are callings. And I think people drive themselves crazy wondering, am I on the right calling? Am I in the right arena? And I'm going to say to you, I remember struggling, going, should I grow a business that is in the spirituality world? How many of you guys are my spirit people, my spirit-led people? Put spirit in the chat, right? And so you know what I'm talking about. I debated, should I do something in spirituality, because I've always loved spirituality, or do I do something in business, where I felt a little bit more. When I started, I felt insignificant. I felt like, I hadn't hit it big yet. You know what I mean? I should say I hadn't hit it big. I'd never grown a business. I'd grown other people's businesses. And so because I'd grown other people's businesses and I hadn't grown my own business, I had insecurities. And still have insecurities. Who has insecurities out there? Me, you, whatever. Who's got insecurities out there, right? And so those insecurities slow us down. And I am a firm believer. I've been having such a big aha, looking back, perspective, right? When you look back. And I think to myself, I'm like, gosh, there's so many times that I slowed myself down because I was really trying to get the right sales script, get the right business manager, get the right virtual assistant, get the right, copywriter, get the right coach, get the right, there was always a reason why I wasn't taking action yet. And behind that is this need to either have it be right, or this need to have it be perfect. And a lot of times these are hidden blind spots that people say, well, no, I don't have an issue. I have no issue on having to get things right. I do things messy all the time. Yeah, but I almost I could almost guarantee that if we went through your business or went through your actions and what you're actually taking action on, whether you're all in or you're just in, you're going to see that hesitation comes from some level of insecurity. So, all of that to say, I'm telling you, don't judge yourself. Okay. Like if you've got, how many of you guys, I was watching a live earlier that I thought was so brilliant. She said, people get upset or they think the kid that's drawing on the walls is a brat, right? Like the kid that's like, every time you come downstairs or every time you walk in their bedroom, they've drawn all over the walls. Who are my parents that have a kid like that, right? They've drawn all over the walls. And so there's a group of parents who are like, oh, they're undisciplined, they're a brat. And then there's another group of people like, no, they're just a kid. And I think that's just as insulting. I think that's just as insulting to they're just a kid, right? They're not just a kid. Kids are bilingual when they're born. They understand every language. They're brilliant. We almost get, it's like the road less stupid is the road more stupid as we get older. The more we kind of input knowledge in, although knowledge has got power to it, a lot of times the way we perceive that knowledge is what slows us down. Is anybody following me today? Are you getting this? Are you starting to see yourself in this? So it's looking at the kid that draws on the wall and goes, that's an artist. Or like my child is loud. Like he is loud. Zach is just, he's loud. He wants to debate with you about everything. So the dude's either going to be a lawyer or a CEO, or you know what I mean? Like he's definitely vision driven. He comes up with new toys and things that we need to create, new YouTube videos. He's very creative. He also loves gaming. I hate that he loves gaming. He loves gaming. How do I know that he's not going to develop something in technology that's going to revolutionize the world and hopefully make the world a better place? Right? Do you hear what I'm saying? So now take us as an adult. And we're like, why do I do that? Like, why do I have to always put like my foot in my mouth when I'm like at a table? Or why do I always have to give my opinion? Or why do I, and we judge it? Or why do I always feel the need to make everybody feel good? Right? Like, why do I feel the need? And I'm just using examples right now. Or why do I like have such an epiphany towards children? Or why am I so good at math? Right? Like my son is incredible at math. I mean, he could do at 8 years old. I mean, I could make money. That dude is going to be able to see systems at a different level because he's already out mathing me. Like no joke. Like it's unbelievable to see how his brain puts together formulas and then he'll spit on an answer and he's right. Like he shouldn't be right about these things at his age. He's way ahead and anyway, my whole point in sharing this with you is that if you keep judging who you are, you're going to miss it. Right? If you keep judging, if you keep looking at the areas that maybe you haven't figured out how to lead it yet or how to put it in the right place, you put me in an accounting department, even if it's like, just because I could fill out a spreadsheet or I could, do data entry, it doesn't mean that I am great at it. And so you could look like a complete failure in roles that we're trying to play. And here's how this plays back to your business. Roles that you're trying to play in your business or in your life. You're trying to play roles. Some of you guys are trying to play roles that you don't fit. And then you're judging yourself for the things that you do automatically. That is actually a superpower that if you put it in the right role, and I'm going to give you some homework today, if you put it in the right area, you're going to find that you go from this kind of inching up to the hockey puck. And the hockey puck is when your business just starts to work like it's like clockwork. You found your message, you found your mission, you found the way to speak about it. You found the people that needs that this mission needs to be able to move it to the forefront. You stopped chasing shiny objects. You stopped doing multiple things at the same time. You just said, you know what, I'm all in, right? I'm going to tell you the way to find that is to literally, and I think it's easier to look at the things that you judge about yourself and literally write down in the last 24, 48 hours, probably in the last week, you have done something that you have been criticized for. I feel like this is a word from heaven. You have done stuff that you have been criticized for. Write that down right now. And I want you to notice the pattern of every other time that you've done that in your life. Like there's like, it's not a just this moment time. It's something you do over and over and over again. And maybe it's misplaced. It's in the wrong area of your life or your business. And therefore, it looks like a failure or it looks like a problem. Now, I want you to ask yourself a very critical thinking, high emotional intelligence question. Okay, but for negative people, this is tough. So you're going to have to just be black and white about the question. Okay. If you were to take this area of your life or this way of being, this characteristic, this thing that you do over and over and over again, and you're to ask yourself, where would that be useful? Where would that be useful in the world, in your life, with the people in your life, and literally create like a web on a piece of paper. Like, this is what I do. Where would it be useful? Well, my whole life, I always had something to say, right? Like I always had something to say. I would be at the dinner table with my parents and they would have me read Time magazine, and I'll still never forget the Iceman. I had to read the article 3 times because I skimmed it twice. And my family was like, no, you have to get intimate with what you're reading and understand it and how to speak about it. But I felt I'm not interested in the Iceman, and I'm not interested in history, and I'm not interested in, that was my mentality. And so I had to read the Iceman Time magazine 3 times. And I had to sit down for dinner with my parents 3 times and talk about it. This is what my parents made me do when I was 11, 12, 13 years old. And I'll never forget how proud I felt about myself because I had people in my life. No, it wasn't Wim Hof. It was the Iceman is something that it was like a dead body that was dug up, and there was a lot of history around it, to not digress into that. But I remember feeling really proud about myself because I had a new identity of who I am, which is somebody who was smart. And I never had that identity. I had the identity I was stupid because there was somebody in my life who told me I was stupid when I was younger. My mom's boyfriend said it to me over and over and over again. And when that's right. And when I became a teenager, that identity followed me. Okay, so there's a difference between here's what I do over and over and over again. So what I would do is I would scan information, and I still have a superpower of doing this. I scan information and I can prioritize what the most important pieces of an article, a formula. This is why I'm so good at coaching business, right? And I say it from a place of humility. You cannot bring me a problem that I can't solve. There's no way. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer, and I will find the answer probably within 24 hours, if not a week. Like there's no problem on this earth, not health-wise. I just watched a guy heal of ALS, right? I've watched multiple people recently heal in the last year and a half of cancer, stage 4, some of them, like dead in a few months, gone, living perfectly great lives. Now they know how to use the temple called their body. Why do you think my mom's sitting in oxygen baths right now? She's in oxygen baths because I got to make sure that whether she believes me or not, I need to make sure that my mom is safe because I am responsible for her to have a healthy, happy life, right? And so a lot of times we give the responsibility of what we want to other people, and then we complain about not getting the results. I want my mom around for a long period of time. I also don't want to pay big medical bills later on in life because we need people to help her. So I'm going to make sure that I have her enrolled in things that educates her on her health versus just telling her about it. Right. So put your money where your commitment's at. Somebody needed to hear that today. Put your money where your commitment's at. Some of you guys are dragging your feet on joining a coaching program, joining a fitness program, joining, hiring an accountant because you're like, I don't know if I want to spend the money. I'm telling you, the reason why you have a calling to do it is because there's a superpower trying to expand in your life right now, but you're doing too much. And because you're doing too much, you don't have the support around you. What happens is you think that you're off the path whatever calling's trying to manifest in your life. But the truth is that your business is a calling and you're on the right path. You might be in the wrong role. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you go back to the child that was drawing on a wall that then becomes an artist later on in life, or does he have the type of parents that condemns him for doing something that he loves? Or do you have the child that bangs on pots and pans? And you guys understand what I'm saying. Look at yourself as an adult like this, right? It's like you're being criticized because, the kid's banging on pots and pans, trying to hit the drums, but yet they're like Hollywood's next big thing. And maybe they're the ones that are going to get to Hollywood and speak the truth versus speak things that indoctrinate us in negative behaviors in life, right? You go watch a romantic movie and then see about how you feel about your marriage or your relationship. Ladies, we're so guilty for it. We go watch, Pretty Woman, and somehow every man in our life doesn't size up. And so even though we know it's fantasy, it's like we think that fantasy should be real. That's social media today. That's Hollywood. That's, Disney. That's, you name it, on our age group. We are being indoctrinated by stuff. This is why what you read matters, but what you tell yourself matters. So I'm going to end this live today, and I'm going to encourage you to do this work, because nobody is responsible for your success, and nobody is responsible for your failure. If you're still saying that the reason why you haven't succeeded is because you've been sick. Okay. I mean, I just watched Jessie Lee literally crush it on the fact that she had stage 4 cancer and they told her she'd be dead, right? She just changed the way she worked. She got more intentional about her voice because it mattered that much, because it might not have been there. And she got to the other side of it. Right. So I don't know. I'm not going to stand here and say that I feel bad for any of us walking through our hardships. I say we can do it. I say that we are stronger than we think. I say that if we went all in, that we would not miss the chance to grow whatever it is that we want to grow, and that calling is real. And every time you put that book on the bookshelf and you don't take it out and say, I'm going to market it, or every time you have that idea that you say someday, because I'm going to raise my children first, you're just training your children to actually do things in perfection and the right way, which leads for a limited life. Okay, so now I'm not saying the person that wants to be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad that doesn't want to grow a business. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the BS excuses that say, someday I'll do this. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. It's such a way that we have lack of urgency. And guess what happens is that thinking pattern goes over. Now somebody gets sick. It's like, well, we hope they get better. Why would you hope? There are people in this world that know how to get you better. Oh, they say that cancer is incurable, or ALS is incurable, or AIDS is incurable. There are so many people have cured themselves of these things. Go make them your friends, right? Don't hang out with people. Don't go to doctors that tell you that things, that something is incurable, because somebody knows how to cure it, including Lyme's disease. Right? And so it's wild to watch. And now if I take it into the world of entrepreneurship, I always say to people, if you will just take the coaching and not fight me, because your emotions, or any business coach that's good, right? Your emotions will tell you you should do something. And I will tell you your emotions will weigh down your dream. So don't miss your chance to grow your business, because I don't know what's coming down the pipe, but the way you make decisions now will tell me if you're going to be successful later. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yes. All right, my friends, I'm sending you so much love. Over the next few days, I'll have different hosts coming on to Shanda On Demand to train. I'm going into a 3-day event, and in my 3-day event, I also have surgery happening. So a great example of all in, I'm going to train the event. I'm going to have somebody train for 4 hours, and I'm going to go have surgery. And then I'm going to come back from surgery, and I am going to finish off the event. And my doctor knows that. Before I go into the event, I'm going to be in an office next to the actual area that I'm going to go into. good to know people. I know the doctor, right? And so John Asraf, my friend John Asraf is who introduced me to him. So my point is that there's always someone who knows how to solve your problem. There's always someone who knows who you need to know, and you're the driver of your own ship. And if you don't want to miss the opportunity or miss the chance to grow a great life, and that includes a great, profitable, amazing business, then you, my friend, need to become the type of person that says that no matter what, there is a way to solve this problem. I could have canceled the event and did the event at a different time when I wasn't in surgery. Funny enough, we actually had the event scheduled for days that I thought I wouldn't be in surgery. And then things changed. Right. And so there was no part of me that had a pity party around it. I just moved into, okay, how can we have this event be even better than if I would have been there? And so I don't settle for a Band-Aid over something. Whenever something hits me, I know there's a better door. Remember, rejection is God's protection. Rejection is God's protection. So if there's something in your life that's not working out the way you want it to work out, I'm telling you, you need to think differently, because there's a door opening for you right now. And if you accept that rejection as it's done, it's over, you're stuck with that prognosis, whether that's in your bank account or in your body, then you are the one who's accepting that as your reality. And it doesn't need to be that way. Excuse me. So I won't see you guys for the rest of the week. I'm going to be leading events, doing surgery, all that fun stuff. And but we will have our on-demand show going. Just other people will be training it. Okay. So much love to you. I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys on Zoom, stay with me.